if you're here on Earth, it's because you have to work something out. You have to prove yourself to get to a better place, to heaven, nirvana, even enlightenment. But if you're here, it means that you've got to work.
You've already done something wrong, or you wouldn't have been born.
Exactly. And I think that's a very false premise.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, we're here as a divine expression of God, and we're here to be creators of experience. And so it's an ongoing discovery of that and shining that light.
It is. And one of the things you and I talked about previously, or off camera, is the fact that people are honored in such a very narrow band of expression, such as in academia. You're only honored for one style, really, of learning, and you excel. You can go up through the ranks by numbers and rankings if you learn that particular way, which is the dominant way. Let's talk about that for a moment, because that wasn't the dominant way even 100 years ago.
Right, right. And that is what I'm talking about. You can develop a skill, or you can develop a certain level of knowledge, but will that fulfill your soul? Will that be something that you know that you are expressing your divine self through? And if it isn't, ultimately it's a sense of, I'm not fulfilled.
Well, yeah, you're not fulfilled. You're not doing your thing, what you were born and designed to do. But also the feelings that we talked at the very beginning about our own self-worth. If you're falling on a scale that's publicly acknowledged as being smart versus dumb, your self-esteem has really taken a hit through the process of education, just as one thing.
Right. Yeah. And so it takes, again, a focus on your spiritual nature to overcome that. And to understand and to have close conversation with your guidance to know what it is you're here to do and to bring that forth.
So in addition to bowing to those in our class who are the A+ students, have 4.0, we also bow to power and fame, which to me is the most false of all. I mean, the way people achieve power and fame is often quite false. Talk about imposter syndrome. So let's talk about that part of our own character. What are we looking for in these people on glossy covers and various apps that pop up?
And every one of those is looking at something else outside of themselves and saying, I want to aspire to be that, or they're letting society tell them what they should be. And when they achieve it, there is that lack of fulfillment. And how can you be authentic when you're not living from your divine self? You can't be authentic. And so, again, you end up in a place where you may have all these achievements, but the fulfillment isn't there.
Yeah. So you, as you were saying earlier in the conversation, being kind of a tuning fork for our soul to be able to get that information through so we can feel it, so we can imbibe in it. I mean, the mind is an interesting thing, so we can feel it emotionally, so we can feel it where it lands in our body. All this is reflecting truth to us, right?
Right. It is. And this journey that we're on, having a close conversation with your guidance about this journey will lead to some unexpected discoveries. You're always in a place of evolving and growing. And it isn't like you wake up one morning and you say, I got it. I know exactly who I am and what I'm here to do, and there's no more that I have to discover. Instead, this discovery takes a lifetime, and some of it shows up that is really surprising to you.
Well, it has for you, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, you never see it coming. But then when your job is to say yes to that, when your guidance is gently pushing you in that direction, say yes.
Yes, and we have to be willing to be a fool. We have to be willing to make mistakes. And the famous saying, the only mistake is if we don't learn something from it. That's the only time we really make a mistake. We have to be willing to put ourselves on the line. And a lot of people are so clamped down into these fear factors of what they think they can and can't do, what their parameters are, you know, what the rules of the game are. We have to start shifting the rules of the game. There are no rules, really.
No. There aren't any rules. And the more that you are in connection with your soul and you are having that conversation, you'll be able to clearly identify then what is yours to do and what is not. And it's so easy then to say no to what is not yours to do. And that is a beautiful thing because society may be pushing you in a certain direction. And you can very confidently say, nope. That's not for me.
Yeah, I might have talent there. It might look like it's a match, but I'm not feeling it. And so if you're not feeling it, no, don't place your energy there. And of course, you know, we get into the topic of, but I have to survive. So we'll get to that later. But one thing that you say, and I agree 100%, is that you don't need to already know how to do it. You don't need to wait until you've mastered something to feel worthy of doing it.
No, absolutely not. It's a journey, and it's self-discovery. And so just get out there and try it. And the thing of it is about waiting until you quote-unquote feel worthy. Honestly, that might not happen.
You might never feel worthy.
That day may not come, and it's not the point.